Our children are our children for such a small season of life. Let their laughter ring out, their imaginations soar. Let their feet stomp in puddles, their hands clap for joy too. Too soon they will grow up and out of their youthful exuberance and zest and settle into the life and the routine of adulthood. L.R. Nost. Welcome to my channel. I've got some super fun things to share with you today. This video is dedicated to books that I have read that have transformed my life. We are going to dive into a sea of books today. I am a stay-at-home homeschooling mom. My name is Jamie. If you are new here, I'm so happy that you're here. Share with you books that have truly inspired me, changed my life. And so thought-provoking, solid, good books that I have read as a mom, as a woman, as a sister, as a daughter, as a friend, as a wife, as a homeschool mom, all the things. I say I've got a stack. I'm not kidding. I am a firm believer that when reading books, they can be applied to every area and avenue of your life. I'm going to start with homeschooling books, okay? We're just going to start there because that's the shortest list that I have. And I'm going to explain why later on. We're going to start with Durenda Wilson, The Unhurried Homeschool. This book is the smallest, the shortest book, but incredibly impactful for me as a homeschool mom. This is one when I very first started our homeschool journey. This was the first homeschool book that I read, and it was actually gifted to me by a sweet friend who lives all the way in North Carolina. And this book is incredible. A simple, merciful, short book on homeschooling, and it is exactly that. Truly shutting everything out. You'll find a common theme here, I'm just telling you. Incredible book that I recommend as a homeschooling mom. Next one, Homeschool Bravely. This is by Jamie Erickson, How to Squash Doubt, Trust God, and Teach Your Child with Confidence. This is one that I go back to. These 4 books I'm sharing with you are almost like I go back to them. I go back to them regularly. Back to the things that I've highlighted. I go back to the pages that I have folded. I go back to the comments that I wrote on the side of a page. All my highlighter marks. I am that mom who marks up her books and highlights and folds and dog ears and does all the things. There's so much goodness in this book, so much truth. This is definitely one of my homeschool mom favorites. And I find these books and I cling to them. I cling to them in different seasons of life. This one is a very popular book, I believe, among the homeschool crowd. Ainsley Arment, The Call of the Wild and Free. You guys, this book is stained and written up and all the things. This has gone to and from the cabin, road trips, time and time again, doodles, dog ears, comments, all kinds of stuff in these books. And some of these are books that you will read once and you might not visit again. Some of them are books that you read and you go back to time and time and time again. This is one of those books, just saying. We are eclectic homeschoolers. We don't buy one big box set of curriculum and stick to that. We do all the things. We do anything and all the things. And that's what I love about homeschooling. This book right here is what inspired truly my desire for doing things different. This is probably the book that started the whole thing. Now let's go on to books for moms, books that I have read that I love that truly changed my life. Now, obviously, you know I'm going to come at you with the Bible. This is the most life-changing book I have ever read. That is not in this stack of today's books because that goes without saying. That is a given. That is absolutely the most impactful, life-changing book I have read ever. The books I do have for you now, though, are ones that have been well loved. They have been well read. They have been used over and over and marked and highlighted and all the things just like the rest. But this stack is much bigger than the stack I just shared with you because I am finding and discovering as a woman, we've been homeschooling for 11 years, okay? Who I am now as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter of a king is not who I was when I very first started homeschooling. So there's a whole transition that has happened in me, spiritually, that has taken me. God has taken me to a different place now than when I first started homeschooling. So these books have all been books that have helped me spiritually as a woman and just develop me into who He has created me to be, opening my eyes to who He's created me to be, trusting who He has created me to be. Do you see where I'm going with this? So as I am becoming more comfortable and confident and trusting God with where He has led our family and what He's doing in our life and really releasing that to Him and trusting Him with it, I have needed less of the homeschool encouragement and more of building me up, building my faith, strengthening my faith, growing deeper with him and who he has created me to be and why he has created me this way and my family and why he's placed me here and all these things. And I can see his hand on all of it. So for me, that's where my passion ignites. So that's why this stack is so much bigger. We're gonna start right now. I'm just gonna keep this rolling because I could talk books and these ones all day. These are solid. You are definitely gonna see a common theme here, just so you know, so be prepared for that. This first book is Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen. Again, this book has gone pretty much everywhere with me, and it is one that I open up and go back to many, many, many times. This book is exactly as it sounds, just our thoughts, the power of our thoughts, getting outside of your head and really looking at things through a whole different lens. This book is an incredible book. I wish I could give you guys like a short summary on every single one of them, but I would have you here for like 2 hours. This book was an incredibly life-changing book for me. I've talked about it on my channel before. This is not a new one. However, some of them that I have here are Gifts of Imperfection. I highly, highly, highly encourage every mama, every young mama out there, young mama especially, to read this book, The Gifts of Imperfection, because the enemy loves to attack us in different seasons of motherhood. This book right here, letting go of who you think you're supposed to be and embracing who you are. I've talked about this before. I really, really encourage mamas, young mamas, to read this book. You're gonna see a theme. I told you, I warned you. Present over Perfect. This is by Shauna Niequist. This book is leaving behind frantic for a simpler, more soulful way of living. And I will tell you, I've had many of you ask, as I'm on this journey to more slow living, right? Many of you have asked, are there any books you read that sparked this? What sparked this? What encouraged you to do this? What ignited this more simple, slow living, minimalistic way of life? This book was one of those that started it because it is so easy for us in this world we live in to be so consumed by all the things. And this book was the beginning of that. This book is, the pages are starting to turn yellow now. The next book that sparked this is To Hell with the Hustle. This is by Jefferson Bethke. And this book was brought to my attention after I read Jesus is Greater Than Religion. That's another one I've mentioned before, but just going to throw it out here again. I strongly, strongly recommend and encourage you to read Reclaiming Your Life in an Overworked, Overspent, Overconnected World. These two together, Present Over Perfect with To Hell with the Hustle. You guys, these are incredible. These are incredible. And two of the best books that I have in these stacks. I definitely recommend them. I think you guys will love them. And just encouraging us to lean into that more slow living way of life and getting out of the hustle and the chaos and the craze and the way that culture and society really wants us to be, going back, reclaiming our family, taking back our family. Yes, that's another one. Take back your family. Hold on, it's coming. Don't give the enemy a seat at your table. This book goes through Psalm 23. Oh, so good. This book, Louis Giglio, It's Time to Win the Battle of Your Mind, okay? This one I could go over and over and over and over with you guys. This is so good. This is so good. I say that about every one of these books. So just know that. Really love to go through this book and read every single note and every underlined sentence. But it's just that good. You have to read this one for yourself and experience God in that yourself because it is that good.
This is Editing Jamie here. So this is what happens when you try to be super cool and have a microphone and try and, be a little bit more professional. And the battery dies. You actually film half of a video without any sound. So I'm going to have to just create a second half of this video for you guys, a part 2, if you will. But before I let you go, I do want to remind you really quick, if this is your first time here, or maybe if you've not heard the news yet, we have a new community coming out, which is Made to Homeschool. So there are so many different familiar faces that you will be seeing in this community. I want you to know this is something we are so incredibly excited about. There is a place for you here in this community. You belong here. I want you to know that there is a wait list and early access is being offered to those that are on the wait list, as well as all the details that are to come. I want you to click the link in the description box down below if you would like to join that wait list to learn everything that there is to know about this community as it becomes available. For now, thank you for understanding that there is more to come, a part 2 for this book video. And I just appreciate you being here so very much. I will see you in our next one. Bye.